Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another News Coolum video. I'm basically ready to check out here at Prim. It's just after 10 a.m., and I don't have solid plans on how I want to return because, I need to get back to Northern California. Today is Saturday. I don't work Sunday, or at least not at my official job, so I do need to be, my drop dead deadline for returning home would be Sunday night, right? So technically I still have all of today that's left of today and all of tomorrow to make it what's really only maybe 600 to 700 miles. Now, like I said, I don't, and that means that this trip actually isn't even going to be probably 2,000 miles unless I decide to go somewhere else. So I didn't do as much driving as I initially planned, but long story short, I don't know where I'm going other than eventually getting home, or I should say I don't know how I'm getting there. So I already have plugged into Google Maps. I already have Baker as my next destination. I'm at about 50% battery, more than enough to make it the 50 miles to Baker from Prim. There are also rest stop chargers along the way, but I just got out of my room, I used the bathroom, I had breakfast, showered. I basically don't need to stop for anything for a while. So even Baker is going to be an early stop for me. The only issue for this trip is I took the week before Thanksgiving off. So this is Saturday before Thanksgiving week. I don't know what traffic's going to be like, and in particular, I don't know what the load on the EV charging infrastructure is going to look like, and that's the big question, right? Because everybody's talking about like Highway 395. This will be a good test. They needed, Electrify America is really the only network covering that route right now in any sort of consistent way, but their chargers, people have questioned their reliability. People have questioned whether 4 chargers per stop is enough on a route that's used heavily during travel weekends, like the weekend before Thanksgiving or the weekend after Thanksgiving. So I guess we'll see, right? The good thing is I'm not in a huge rush. So even if I have to wait to access a charger, that's not a big deal. Even if I have to escalate an issue to have Electrify America reboot a charger, it's not a huge deal. It's not like I have a pressing deadline, essentially. But it'll be just a good test. Anyway, I'm going to head out. Burning daylight, as they say. We're already well after 10 o'clock, like 6-7 minutes after 10 o'clock. So I'm just going to, get it in gear. All right, well, we arrived here in Baker. Like I said, it really wasn't that intensive a drive. 50 miles, downhill, like a net elevation decrease. You have to get over a 4,000-foot pass, whatever, no big deal. But, arrived with a comfortable 21% battery. Looks like there's a 2022 Bolt EV parking here, charging right now too, which is cool. 6 chargers, plenty to choose from. Anyway, as far as this trip is concerned, I don't know where I go from here. I was thinking about going up that, I think it's Highway 127, up toward Death Valley. Problem is the Death Valley actual visitor center takes me way out of the direction I was normally going to go. And because they don't have any or insufficient charging infrastructure, I would have had to plan my trip earlier on around going there. I'm not going to charge to near 100% on DC fast charger here just to do that. Last time I went through Barstow, there were no public DC fast chargers, and now there are at least 3 different locations, so I might want to just check that out anyway, I think people have criticized the Barstow Electrify America station there for its lack of reliability. I might want to check that out. In the meantime, I'm just going to let this charge up. Even if I'm going to Barstow, I want at least 50% leaving here, probably 60% because it's uphill to Barstow, freeway speeds the entire way. But otherwise, I'm going to get out, stretch my legs, go into the gift shop, grab a cold drink or something like that, and just enjoy my relaxing road trip back to Northern California. So I think what I'm going to do is just do a quick site review here, or at least just a walk around, maybe not even a formal site review just for the road trip. Just want to show you the site. I thought I heard another EV approaching, and then head out to Barstow. I technically have already reviewed this site, but I want to walk through and maybe update it based on the new score that I have, and then we'll hit the road. All right, well, quick site review done, or maybe I just talk too much sometimes, but notice Barstow is only 63 miles away, so that we're already basically ready to go. I will say there is the curse of Barstow, where for whatever reason it always underestimates, but again, actually that's more the curse of Victorville. So now that Barstow's in the way, I think I should be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this charger down, leave the gift shop and world's tallest thermometer, and really just hit the road. But like I said, it should be a quick jump over to Barstow, and then I think I do want to head up 395. The weather, it's going to be cold, but it looks like it's going to be dry. And you notice, like, we're only charging at 33, and we've been charging at just over 30 kilowatts for most of this session. I think my battery was probably just still cold from sitting out. So, I'm not going to look too much into it. I would have moved chargers if I would have thought that this was too much of an issue or an issue with the charger. Could be, probably not. I'm not going to fret over it because we're already ready to go. So I just wanted to swing by and show this is cool station, right? Like, it does look like they're going to actually have a full-on 12 chargers here, which again would be a 10 out of 10 for a site concentration score, but they need to get it done. More effective solar canopy than the Baker one, I feel like. But yeah, just a nice overall site. A lot of people lined up for gasoline right now. A lot of Teslas in the supercharger stall. Nowhere near full, of course. And then, of course, they have like the Dairy Queen, just basically a bunch of services. So, this is going to be a nice overall stop. But like I said, the EVgo is, I think, in many ways a better stop and a nice alternative. All right, let's head out. We're here at Barstow. I seem to be making a habit of arriving at about 21% battery, which I guess is probably more of what some people feel comfortable with. There was another VW ID4 charging when I showed up. So 2 ID4s and a Mach-E, but plenty of chargers here. There's 6 in this bank, and then there's 1 more bank of 2 chargers right toward the store entrance, I guess ADA compliant. That's usually where they put the CHAdeMO connection to, because I don't see one here. But anyway, yeah, this is a pretty great stop, and I guess chalk one more up for perfect functionality for Electrify America so far. First time, started right up, charging right now. So I think I'm actually going to run into the store, and then I might come back and do a quick site review. So hang tight. All right, so it looks like this charger is about to be completely unoccupied. So the VW driver just pulled out. The Mach-E driver is here. He's about to pull out. And we're about to head out too. Now we're up to just over 60%. We're like 63% based on the screen right now. And that's good enough for me to head out. The charger, or by the time I close out the charging session, it will be good enough. Because where we're going next, I believe, is Olancha, Coso Junction, whatever they call it, right? But it's up Highway 395. Technically, it's 116 miles away. I don't need that full 115 miles of range. There's another charger. I think it's about 20 miles closer. It's a charge point charger. It's almost going to be an hour and 30 minutes to get there anyway, so I might stop in just for a quick top-up, just to check out the site, not do a formal review or anything of that nature. But I'm not really worried about this next leg of the trip, even though there's a massive elevation increase. It's all highway, and basically based on our range estimator, we only have 120 miles of range. So whatever, let's just go. They're all open, folks. So I suppose it's a good idea that I did stop here. Like I said, I think this is technically Bradley. I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, it's a single charge point express unit. This one is only a 50 kilowatt unit, so it's just a single 50 kilowatt unit. One thing I do like about these is the cables come across here. But they'll reach this will pull out, and then it telescopes out and reaches the car. So I don't know. I probably could have made it all the way. I believe it's in Kern, but that's why I wasn't fretting it. As I kind of wanted to stop here just to see anyway. Worst case worst, level 2s always work. Or they mostly always work. We could always check them out. And actually, it looks like this is being plumbed. Maybe for a second DC fast charger, which if that's the case, that's going to be really nice. And yeah, it looks like this is there. And then probably another pedestal for another DC fast charger. So I think it even lists it as 2, but there just aren't 2 in there right now. So I'm actually not going to stop here for very long because it's only a 50 kilowatt charger. It's not really charging me up that quickly. And again, the big thing was the elevation increase. I think we probably increased about 2,000 feet in elevation from Barstow to get here. And then, of course, it's freeway speeds the whole way. But yeah, so like I said, even 65% battery, I arrived, I think, with about 15 to 20%. Let's see, maybe it shows. I don't think it actually shows, but it's added 6.9 kilowatt hours at this point, so actually maybe less than 15. But yeah, it's a nice stop. You can tell that this place hasn't been frequented as much, and that's unfortunate. People basically only stopping here to use the bathroom, more fuel efficient gas cars, things like that. they're not having to buy gas here. And so basically it's just a bathroom and concessions. And yeah, so if you do stop places like this, please treat them well. They're trying to get by, and you know, it's not easy. So yeah, I went ahead and bought some drinks. I have a snack that I brought with me. So, but yeah, so this is just an overall, I think, nice spot. Level 2 AC isn't going to be great for travel, but maybe like e-bikes and things like that will find this stop pretty compelling. Great view, nice place to just kind of stretch your legs and relax a little bit. And like I said, I'm only going to be here for probably another 5-10 minutes, and then I'm going to be heading up the road. Snack. Like I said, I went in, grabbed some stuff from the store here, and then we're going to head out. I already plugged in the maps for, it's Coso Junction. I don't know why. This is in Kern. Coso Junction is the next one up, and it's only 25 miles, so we already have plenty of range to make it. And depending on how much elevation increase there still is, we could burn through a disproportionate amount of battery anyway. So like I said, I'm not going to really worry about it, but it's 2:55 right now. Probably going to pull out in just a minute or two. All right, well, people were asking me to track the Electrify America failures, and I finally had my first one. I pulled into this station, but the NIAX reader is out. So when you plug in, it tells you that, and I think, yeah, there's a network error, and it tells you that the credit card payment reader isn't available. But I don't know if it's just this or how slow my app was working, and that's maybe what caused it to delay if the app was lagging, because technically it looks like it's available and to pay by app or plug-in charge or whatever, but then the other one is I plugged in here, started right away. One thing I do not like about this though is how far we are with these bump stops away, and it puts a huge amount of stress on this cable, so it's pulling away. So I won't be surprised a strong breeze, which we have right now, could swing that cable and sort of pry it loose enough that it causes a connection error, which I'll be keeping an eye out for. Yeah, because otherwise I'd like these bump stops to be just a little bit closer. I mean, I guess I could pull up to it another 3 to 4 inches, but you notice with these ABB chargers, the cable loops out instead of looping off to the side. So you're pulling in, you're literally just pushing in on this cable that's in there, and I don't like doing that because it can put wear and tear on the charger. So I would rather have these loop back around. You shouldn't have like 2 or 3 feet of distance between where the cable loops down in the front of the charger. I mean, I could go over probably and pull it back, but ABB needs to work on this design because it sort of naturally needs to lay like this. And then I could have pulled 4 inches closer and no issues with the cable at all. But anyway, so yeah, that's the first Electrify America failure on the entire trip so far. And like I said, just jump over to the other charger. But as you can see, the network is completely overloaded by holiday traffic travelers. Don't travel on weekends, don't travel on holidays, folks. No chargers will be available, they'll be clogged. You won't be able to do anything. Oh yeah, and there's also another charger over active in the rest area. But you can't access anything. Don't worry about it. What you can't access either is gas stations. This threw me for a loop. So I'm glad I stopped at Kern and grabbed some drinks and a snack and used the bathroom, because this is what we got here. Picnic tables. Picnic tables where the gas station used to be. I mean, I don't know what the ETA is on this, on reconstructing this portion of it, the store. This they can probably just scrap. They don't need that anymore. But yeah, we'd like to have a nice little convenience store, place to buy snacks, use the bathroom. And that, getting rid of that would leave plenty of room for full pull-through EV parking. So yeah, just ditch whatever that is there, finish that, and we have these for the nose-in parking, and we're good. All right, well, we've been here for a little while. I took some time to do a site review. We're up to 65% battery at this point, which I'm actually pretty comfortable with making it to Bishop. Yeah, we've been here for 36 minutes now. I'm pretty comfortable making it to Bishop. It's going to be about an hour and a half drive. It's just under 100 miles according to Google Maps. So I think I underestimated the elevation change from Barstow to here. I think it was only about 1,500 feet. But from here to Bishop, I think is another couple thousand feet, at least 1,000 or 2,000 feet net elevation increase, which is why I would want a little bit more than 50% to be able to go 100 miles at highway speeds. I might keep my speed down a little bit. There have been some weird winds and the temperatures are starting to drop. So, I'm just going to be a little bit more cautious in my drive up and see if maybe my efficiency will improve a little bit. I doubt it, because again, that elevation increase changes everything. So, but yeah, we're only charging at a little less than 30 kilowatts now. So yeah, I'm just going to close up and get ready to head out. All right, well, first of all, Burr, the winds are kicking up, and, it doesn't display that cold on the temperature, but it feels a lot colder than the, high 50s, the temperature, the thermometer says it is, right? I mean, I see a lot of people here bundled up in jackets and coats and things like that. So, anyway, we arrived here in Bishop with 10% battery, which is about what I expected. Maybe a little bit less, but again, I upped my speed a little bit just to make it here a little bit sooner. But then also there was a decent crosswind that I could feel that was definitely impacting it. And then, of course, there's the elevation gain. I would say just based on this, I would say a Bolt EV, even a 2020 Bolt EV, Hyundai Kona electric, Kia Niro EV, that whole class of vehicle. And so with that actually comes in definitely something like the Audi e-tron, the Jaguar I-Pace, the VW ID4. I think this is going to apply to all of them. If you're going northbound on Highway 395, it does feel like Coso Junction is almost a must stop, because this means I essentially used at least 55% of my battery to get from Coso Junction to here in not that, I'd say that not that harsh of weather. So that's just something to keep in mind, because if you charge up in Barstow, if you charge up in Mojave, or if you charge up in like Tehachapi, or like Victorville, Hesperia, you're going to have to hit Coso Junction, I think, just to get here. Mojave might put you close if you like charge all the way to the top, but then I would also think that you're going to need really ideal conditions. Crazy idea. I might actually stay the night in Bishop if I can find a room. And not that I need to stop right now, but no matter what I do, I'm still probably 500-600 miles from home. I would need to plug it in. It's not urgent that I be there like tomorrow, like early. And one of the reasons to drive through 395 through the Sierras is for the sights, to see everything, right? So why would I drive through at nighttime when it's getting really cold and it's really windy, and I'm risking getting tired on the road, all of that. There's no real need to push myself that way. This is supposed to be a vacation trip, right? Like, so what am I going to drive for another 2 hours, 3 hours and end up in Reno maybe? Which, would I rather spend the night in Bishop or in Reno? And would I rather wake up in the morning and be able to drive through the Sierras during sunrise, or drive through the Sierras at nighttime when I can't see anything? So I'm going to check for room availability. I might just check into a room, and I don't think any of them have destination charging here, which is unfortunate. This is a perfect town for it. All these hotels, motels should have that, but I don't think any of them do. And then the other thing is, I'm going to have to redact the failure for Electrify America, because it's halfway Electrify America's fault. The NIAX card reader on this one is also down. It rejected my payment initially, but I thought, what if I try to set it as member, not as non-member? So, because if you have it on the member tab, it's asking for the NIAX card reader. But what if I set it to member? And sure enough, I touched the screen, set it to member. It then, after I said retry payment, by the way, you have to press the retry payment button. I pressed the tab to member, and then immediately it said, oh, just tap your phone. So I tapped my phone, and automatically it started. So if you have the NFC card reader, and you come to a NIAX, a charger with a NIAX that's down, and it's rejecting the payment, just make sure you retry really quickly, and then swipe your phone, because it looks like whatever's connecting wrong with the NIAX is also connecting wrong with the app. So, I'll give it a 50-50. Technically, I didn't need to move that charger in Coso Junction. I could have just used it like I did this one. So, the charger wasn't down, but I still want to knock Electrify America, because when that happens, it's too complicated for the average person to try to figure out on a road trip that they need to press this button, then that button, then swipe their phone, all with timing in mind, right? That's unnecessarily complicated. If this system goes down this way, just do what you've done in the past and offer complimentary charges. Basically, plug and charge automatically. Just say, our payment reader is down. Sorry. Just plug in and you get a complimentary charge. I think that's the better strategy, because right now it technically works, but how many people are going to try to do what I did to navigate the interface to ensure that it's on the member tab, which it doesn't default to, and that I have my phone ready to wipe on the NFC card reader. And in this case, with a Bolt EV, I have my card cable supported so that it's ready to accept and initiate the charge. So again, I'll give Electrify America a little bit back, but it's still a halfway failure for their charger in Coso Junction, and this one worked the same way, but I got it to charge basically on the first retry, right? I never unplugged and plugged back in or anything else. So, all right, well, this is great. I was able to book a room. It wasn't even really that much more expensive than the room that I booked in Vegas. So I think things are still warming back up, right, during the pandemic and everything. So I'm guessing there maybe just more availability than I thought. And this is great because, one, I don't need to do a huge, massive charging session right now. And then, of course, like I said, I can always come back and charge in the morning, and maybe grab some breakfast or something before I head out. And, of course, we'll have the nice morning light to head up the Sierras. It'll still be cold, but at least we'll be able to see everything. So, that's good news. So I'm actually just going to get some things closed out here. I already have the directions to the motel plugged in, and we'll get ready to go. All right, well, I'm back at the charging station, and you might say, well, what the deuce? Why are you doing that? Well, as you might remember, I only charged up to about 46%, and I went and checked out my room. Now, the thing is, this is just sort of a tip, and the reason I would bring it up is if you're going to travel long distance and end up staying at hotels or motels that don't have charging overnight, and especially in areas like this where it can get very cold, very freezing, my recommendation is go DC fast charge nearby your hotel or motel. So even if you can't find a hotel or motel with level 2 AC charging that you can just slow charge all night long, try to get one as close to a DC fast charger as you can. But then go and DC fast charge while your battery is still warm. So basically, at the end of the day, you get in, you check into your room, go DC fast charge. I'm going to go into the store, do a little bit of shopping, but charge up at least enough to make it to your next stop in the when you leave in the morning. And maybe up, even more than that. Whatever's convenient for you if you're going to grab a meal or whatever. This is one of those rare occasions where I consider charging to 100% on a DC fast charger completely justifiable. If you're in an area with very little coverage to the point that even the hotels or motels don't have EV charging, yeah, you probably should try to charge up as much as you possibly can. In this case, right, I'm in the middle of the Sierra Nevadas, going up Highway 395, heading into winter. We have winds, probably no snow or anything like that, but a lot of the chargers here are sort of a single point of failure if you get there and the charger isn't working. So I would recommend while the chargers are up and while the chargers are working, take advantage of that. Take advantage of a warm battery so that you can charge at your fastest rate, and you don't have to worry about waking up in the morning and then charging at a really slow rate when maybe it doesn't make sense for you. I know I was kind of struggling with the point at which to cut off this video. Maybe this is a perfect opportunity to do it because, like I said, what I'm really worried about is things getting too long, and so we'll start off the last part of this epic road trip journey tomorrow morning in Bishop, California, with nearly a full battery that's probably cold soaked, and I'll be well rested, well fed, and will be well lit for the trip. Sunlight. My neighbors at the motel might not agree with the definition of lit, but yeah, we're talking about post sunrise. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and I hope it was informative, and I hope these tips and tricks about what I do when I travel are actually helpful and useful, and thank you for watching.